Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be going over the 8 signs you're not fulfilling your purpose. Now, there are many people out there who are able to find what their purpose is at an early age, and then there's some people who aren't able to find what their purpose is. So, if you're stuck in a rut, you don't know what you were put on this earth to do, you don't feel fulfilled, you don't feel happy in your life. You just want to figure out what makes you happy and what keeps you going throughout the day. So hopefully these 8 signs will be able to give you the knowledge and to help motivate you to become the best version of yourself and to find out what that purpose is in your life. All right. So let's not waste any time and let's go ahead and get started. Number 1, you feel dissatisfied or empty. Now, if you don't know what your purpose is, you don't know, what to do in order to accomplish your goals and dreams, you tend to feel dissatisfied. You tend to feel empty on the inside. You don't have that inner love. You don't have that inner confidence within yourself. Well, the first thing for me is you have to find God first. That's the number one priority. That's the number one thing that you need to do. You need to be able to find God first. You have to have that relationship with God first. God is first in everything that you do. So you have to be willing to make sacrifices and to do the things to have that relationship with God, have that close tie with God, have that Holy Spirit within yourself, have that inner spirit within you. All right, that's the number one thing. That's the most important thing that you need to do. That's why I put it at number 1. You have to have that relationship with God first because God is able to communicate to you through your visions and passions. Remember that. Only God. So you have to have that relationship with God first, and then God will lead you the way. All right, you're able to develop that relationship, develop your higher self, get to know your higher self more, and your higher self and God is able to lead you in that right direction and to provide you the necessary information, the tools, the blueprint to figure out what your purpose is, and then it goes on from there. So have that relationship with God first in order to figure out what your purpose is, so you can get rid of all that doubt, that the non-self-love, dissatisfaction, all that. So have that relationship with God first, and everything will work from there. Number 2, you doubt your ability and whether you have anything to give. There are times where we feel unmotivated, we doubt ourselves, we don't believe that we can do this, we can do that. We feel like it's impossible, all these doubts and all these, feelings that we sometimes, come to, things like that. We shouldn't give in to those thoughts. We shouldn't give in to that, those feelings that we're not good enough, we're not capable to do anything, because God is able to do everything for you. God is able to give you that knowledge, give you that wisdom, give you that strength to do what you have to do. So don't feel like you can't do this certain thing, you can't do that. You can do anything that you put your mind to. All right, you can do anything that you put your mind to. There's no such thing as it's impossible, or I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not wise enough, I don't have the certain capabilities, I don't have the physical strength, or not any of that. You can do anything that you put your mind to. Once you figure out what you need to do and focus on what you need to do, put all your time and effort and your energy into it, you're able to accomplish anything, accomplish everything that you want and desire in this life. So always remember that nothing is impossible for you. So don't have that self-doubt, don't have that those thoughts, talking down on yourself and things like that. You can do anything that you aspire to be or inspired to do. So always remember that. Number 3, you're afraid of leaving your comfort zone. Now, I felt guilty of this too. I was so caught up in my comfort zone. Your comfort zone is is like a blanket, like a large blanket that you don't want to leave. You don't want to leave outside the blanket. Once you get out of that comfort zone, you start to, your nerves start racking. Start feeling anxious, nervous. Anxiety starts to build up because you're out of your comfort zone. But you have to get out of that comfort zone in order to grow. In order to grow and develop in this life, you have to get out of that comfort zone. The comfort zone is not helping you in any way, shape, or form. All right, the comfort zone is only hurting you. You know, it's only leading you astray. It's only, keeping you down. You're not able to develop and grow and level up in life if you stay in your comfort zone. So you have to be willing and able to get out of that comfort zone and to do what you have to do to grow and to develop and to pursue anything that you want to do in this life, right? So you need to get out of that comfort zone and leave that comfort zone for good. That comfort zone is going to be calling you back. The comfort zone is not going to want you to leave, but you have to ignore that. You have to ignore all those voices, ignore all that, self-doubt, trying to go back to your comfort zone. You can't do that. You cannot go back to your comfort zone. And so in order to become the best version of yourself, in order to grow spiritually, mentally, physically, all that, you need to be able to leave your comfort zone and to leave your comfort zone for good. Number 4, you don't recognize your gifts and talents at all. Now, I dealt with this before, growing up, when I was in, high school, especially college. When I was in college, I thought I wanted to do this certain thing. I tried to I wanted to major in computer science, but I realized that this wasn't for me. I wasn't doing well in any of the computer classes. And then I changed my major. I changed my majors like 2 or 3 times while I was in college. And once I graduated, I thought I wanted to do something with computers, work in IT, but that wasn't really fulfilling me. Because if you really want to do something, if you really had passion to do something, you would put all your effort and work into what you are trying to do, right? So I realized that I didn't want to do anything with computers. It wasn't motivating to me, things like that. So I had to go through this period of isolation. God has put me in this period of isolation. And I didn't even know I was in a period of isolation. It just happened out of nowhere. So it was crazy, right? So I was able to, read books, study myself, get into spirituality, get in touch with my spirituality, getting closer to God, just doing everything I can to build my spirit up and to build that relationship with God, because I think that's the most important thing in order for you to find your purposes through God. So I was able to find my purpose. I was able to find my passions. I was able to find out the things that I love to do, that I want to do in life, that will make me happy, and, things like that. So you have to be able to find out what that is, all right? Be able to find out what that purpose is, what that fulfillment is, and, it'll bring you peace, joy, and happiness. So always figure out what that purpose is and do what you have to do to figure out what that is. Number 5, you try to model yourself after other people. Now, especially with social media, with celebrities, people trying to model themselves after celebrities. They see a rapper that they like and then they want to start rapping, and it turns out, it's not really fulfilling them. They just, trying to do it for fame or notoriety and things like that, but they can't actually rap. They don't have the talent of rap. Trying to sing, they can't sing. They don't have the talent to sing. They see somebody else on social media and they try to, replicate that. They try to, copy this, copy that, trying to do what other people are doing. You need to focus on yourself, right? You can't do what, you can't copy and, to do what everybody else is doing if you can't do it, if you don't have the capabilities or if you don't have the talent to do that. So always model after yourself. Become your own role model. Become your own public figure. All right, figure out what you need to do and focus on that. Focus on yourself. Don't focus on all these other people, these other public figures, these celebrities, and things like that, because it's only hurting you in the long run. If you're trying to do something that you really don't want to do and you're just trying to do it for other things, it's not gonna work. You're not gonna have that fulfillment and that happiness that you always wanted. So always be a model of yourself. Always be a role model for other people. Become your own role model. Build that character, or build those skills, or build that knowledge up for yourself, and to figure out what you need to do. All right, so don't replicate and model after other people. Focus on yourself always. Number 6, you find ways to cope/escape. Now, if you're, people that are feeling down, people are, depressed or trying to escape their traumas, escape their weaknesses, their weak points, they try to find other coping mechanisms like smoking weed and going on trips and things like that. They're just trying to escape. They're trying to escape themselves instead of trying to improve themselves, trying to work on their weaknesses, improving their strengths, just working on themselves overall. They just try to escape themselves. They try to escape their problems. When they come back, to those problems, when they come back to reality or come back to work, them same problems are still gonna be there, right? So you have to face your fears. You have to face those demons. You have to face those trials. You have to face those tribulations. You have to work through yourself. You have to work and develop and build yourself, because you can't run from your problems for long. They're gonna eventually come back to you. They're gonna eventually come back and bite you, right? So you have to face those trials and tribulations. You have to be able to work on yourself, work on your character, work on your build, work on yourself. You can't run from your problems for long. So always take the time to face those troubles that you're going through and improving yourself over time. Number 7, your occupation doesn't provide you happiness. Now, you know the whole program in life. When you go to school, go to grade school, and then after that you go to college for a certain amount of years, and you work a 9-to-5 job for the rest of your life, and then happily ever after. All right, I believe that we weren't put on this earth to work and slave and to die. We weren't put on this earth to do that. So we work in this, this slave job, this 9-to-5 job that doesn't provide us happiness, and we wonder why we feel so tired, we feel so drained, we feel so unfulfilled, because we're not doing, the necessary things to fulfill us, to fill our happiness. All right, that's why it's important for us to figure out what our purpose is, because we work in these other jobs and doing these other things that are not providing us happiness. All right, and we feel all depressed and stressed because we're doing something that we don't want to be doing just for a check. All right, so we need to figure out what that purpose is, what that meaning of life is for us. Our purpose in this life is different for everybody. It's different for everybody. People have different, goals and dreams that they want to fulfill. So you have to figure out what that is. Always figure out what that is. All right, start by creating your day, then create your life. All right, it's a slow process. And once you start building up that slow process, it expands. All right, that vision starts to become clear. That vision starts to expand all around. So always try to figure out what that purpose is and try to be creative in what you do. And number 8, you're only working for the money. There are jobs out there, they might pay, a certain amount of money. They may pay good, but you don't necessarily like doing the work. You getting up, you dreading out of bed in the morning. You don't want to go to work, but you're doing it because they paying you $50, $70, $100,000 a year. They giving you this certain amount of money, but the job doesn't fulfill you in any way. That's another sign that you are not fulfilling your purpose. All right, when you're doing certain jobs, doing certain things just for the money, that's not really what your purpose is. All right, so figure out if you are working a job and it pays you good, that's fine. If you're enjoying it, that's fine. But if you're just doing it for the money, they giving you a certain amount of money, and you're just doing it for the money, it doesn't provide you happiness, then you're not living your purpose. You're not striving to be the best version of you. So always keep that job on the side, and then just work on what you really want to do on the other side, on the other end of the spectrum. Work on what you need to do the things that you need to do, gather the tools, gather the resources, and to build that foundation, build that business, build that empire, build that podcast, build that YouTube channel, whatever you have to do. All right, use that money that you're working at your regular job, and to utilize that into your purpose and what you actually really want to do in this life. All right, so remember that. All right, so these are the 8 signs you're not fulfilling your purpose. Number 1, you feel dissatisfied or empty. 2, you doubt your ability and whether you have anything to give. 3, you're afraid of leaving your comfort zone. 4, you don't recognize your gifts and talents at all. 5, you try to model yourself after other people. 6, you find ways to cope/escape. 7, your occupation doesn't provide you happiness. And number 8, you're only working for the money. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Hopefully these signs will give you, the motivation and the knowledge and the wisdom to go after it and do what you have to do to find your purpose, to find that happiness, to find that true happiness that lies within, and all the above. All right, so I encourage you all to find your purpose. And like I said earlier, start by creating your day, then create your life. All right, so till next time. And always remember, all power resides from within, and always keep the faith, because God and the universe is always working for you. Take care, guys, and God bless.